Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It is December the 23rd, and you're here with me, Kristina Swanson, your Dreambuilder coach and life mastery consultant. And we are here for our weekly Monday coffee calibration session. Thank you for joining me. You may be watching this live or you may be watching it on YouTube. Regardless, I hope that this will help you to set you on the path to having an excellent week this week, getting you motivated towards your dreams. Awesome. Okay, so I hope that you're strapped in, that you've got your favorite morning or evening, for those of you who are international, beverage. And I hope you have a pencil and a piece of paper, take a few notes, do a few of the exercises that we work on, because I want you to not only be inspired by some of the things I'm saying, but I want you to take some action as well. Because quite frankly, inspiration without action is simply entertainment. And while I appreciate entertaining you all, I am much more ready to help you gain your full potential. Okay, are you ready? Let's talk a little bit more about that. So this month, December, has been our month on miraculous manifestations. And we've talked about a number of concepts. Last week, we started talking about the idea or the concept of taking a quantum leap in your life. And because this is unfamiliar to a lot of people, I've decided to go ahead and spend several weeks on it, because the principles that we're covering are tremendous, and they will make fantastic strides in your life if you allow them to do so. Okay. Before we do that, though, I want us to generate an energetic state so that we are present and prepared for the work that we're going to do in this next half hour, 45 minutes. And then from there, I think we will go ahead and set an intention for what we're going to calibrate this week and how we're going to do that. And then we will launch into the material, and I'll talk a little bit more about quantum leaps. But first, I invite you to close your eyes. And I want you to start to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth like you're breathing through a straw. Okay. In through your nose and out through your mouth like you're breathing through a straw. And I want you to do that at least 4 or 5 times. Keep your eyes closed. And as you're doing this, I want you to start to bring to mind something for which you are grateful and something that you're proud of. Okay. Something you're grateful for and something that you're proud of. And every week as we come together, we do this practice, and we practice this very important skill, being able to generate an energetic state at will, because we want to become fluent in our ability to calibrate our personal energy right in the moment that we're in. So if we notice our thoughts or our feelings are not in harmony with the life we absolutely love, we pause ourselves. And in this pause, we breathe in through the nose, which supports our nervous system, and we breathe out slowly, like we're blowing through a straw, because it signals rest, digest, and create to our brains. Okay. And we add to this the template of gratitude, calibrating the energy of our thoughts to the vibration of gratitude. And then, of course, to the gratitude, we always add a proud of, which amplifies the vibration of synergy between the gratitude and the action. Now, that proud of is acknowledging the part of us that has taken an action, the part of us that is in human form and can take action to serve our vision. And we know this, that taking action is not a given. We have the gift of free will. which means that in order to take an action, we have to use our mental faculty of will by giving ourselves a command and following through with an action. So it's important to recognize that part of us that takes an action by naming something that we're proud of. Okay. And as you're done, if you're starting to feel relaxed, if you felt some release, maybe the constriction that you were feeling in some part of your body has relaxed. If it hasn't, send some love to that part of your body. Is it in your chest? Is it in your stomach? Maybe it's in your throat. Okay. Think about your gratitude and send that part of you some love. Okay. Now, if this isn't working, maybe it's because the thing that you're grateful for is actually causing you some stress. And if that's the case, then I want you to look at it with kindness, with love, perhaps some forgiveness. We've talked about forgiveness during our month on gratitude in November. All of these videos are on my YouTube channel, Kristina Swanson Training, YouTube. And so feel free to go back and watch all of these videos. I hope that they will serve you in the moment that you're in being able to deal with these things. Okay. Awesome. Go ahead and open your eyes. And if there's something that you're happy for or grateful for and proud of, feel free to type it in the chat. Okay. Yep, type it in the chat. And silence my phone. I should have had that turned off a long time ago in the other room. Apologize. Awesome. Well, let's see. Something that I am grateful for in this moment is the fact that we've actually had a break in the weather. And that has allowed me to do some car maintenance and some yard work that hadn't gotten done in preparation for winter. I'm grateful that I didn't have to try and do the car maintenance on my truck maintenance in the snow, flat tire and a dead battery. Not big deals, but for me, being, a girl and acting like a girl, those things are sometimes fairly challenging and just not what I would be preferring to do in a snowstorm. So I'm grateful that Mother Nature cooperated with me and gave me a couple of high 40s days where it was very pleasant to get out and work on my truck. Okay. And I'm proud of myself for tackling that myself, because normally I would just wait for some male friend of mine to come and do it. Right. I often, because I have two vehicles, would leave the truck parked and just drive the car and not worry about having two running vehicles. But that's silly, right? It's important to go ahead and jump on things and get them taken care of when they need to be done. I didn't need to pay somebody to do it. I was able to do it myself. And so I'm proud that I stepped into that this time. Okay. Not big, but here's the thing. Micro dreams, micro steps, 5-minute power moves, these things move you in the vibration towards your dream, right? They keep you in a state of feeling powerful and able, and it gets some of that clutter out of the way. Sometimes clutter can keep us from really taking care of the things we want to do, right? A few weeks ago, we talked about the idea of the jar and making sure you're doing the big rock things first, right? Well, the sand is kind of the clutter. It's the stuff that doesn't really have to be done. But if you end up doing all of that first, there's no room for the big important things that you need to get done in your life. Okay. So, okay. I am going to see if we have anything in the chat. So far, nobody has shared anything. That's okay. If you're watching the recording, feel free to share these gratitudes and proud ofs in the comment section. I would be happy to read them and celebrate with you and help supercharge your success. Okay, that's one of the goals that I have here, is to really make sure that I have amplified you to the point where you are ready to continue to take action. Awesome. All right. Well, let's just go ahead and start talking about a quantum leap. We're talking about this because the first week in our month on miraculous manifestation, we talked about miracles in more the traditional sense of what a miracle is. And I'll go ahead and remind you that a miracle is defined as a surprise and welcome event that can't be explained by common hour thinking, and that's considered to be divine grace. People just don't know how it happens, right? It's like you're here and all of a sudden you're here. Okay, so that's what we talked about in our first week. Last week, we started talking about this from more of a scientific point of view, because it's not just religious people who think about miracles. Scientists now understand that miracles happen in science as well, and they are called quantum leaps. Okay, quantum physics, which is one of the highest forms of science currently on Earth, in the last 10 or 15 years has widely begun to recognize that these quantum leaps happen, that we live in a quantum universe, okay, and that this is how all things work. And so whether you call it God, whether you call it source, the universe, or quantum physics, the same actions happen in our lives. And if we know how that works, we know how to use it. Now, we don't need to know actually the intricate how it works, right? I'm never going to be able to explain to you how an actual quantum leap of electrons happens in science, okay? But I can show you examples of how this happens, okay? If you flip on the light switch in your house, okay, what happens? The light comes on. Now, do you know exactly how that works? Most of us don't. If you're an electrician, you might understand that. But for most of us, especially if you haven't ever seen that before, that is a miracle. You turn on a switch and you have light. Well, same thing is happening here with the results that we can have in our lives, right? And I'm here today to help you try and create your full potential. Okay? And how do I know that you have not yet reached your full potential? It's because I know you have a vision that is greater than your current results. Okay? This is good news, because it means that we have more capability than we've ever known, right? Infinite potential is within each and every one of us, because the very power breathing us is infinite. And as brave thinkers, we know that each one of us has far more and contains much more potential than our current circumstances. And we already have everything that is required to make amazing quantum leaps in our lives. Okay. The brave thinking tools I'm teaching you helps unleash quantum leaps. Okay. Now, science defines a quantum leap as the explosive jump that a particle of matter undergoes in moving from one place to another. In other words, our results can move and shape in ways we might not even imagine, and in a shorter time than we ever thought possible. Okay. Now, our results are not shaped by the world of matter. They're shaped by the infinite potential inside each one of us. We have capabilities and power that we haven't made use of because up until now, we haven't been aware of them. Many of us operate from a place of common hour thinking that keeps us tied to the belief that achieving results only happens when we get everything in the right order, right? Getting all of our ducks in a row. And then we think this way. When we think this way, we're giving ourselves a way to circumstance, situations, and conditions. It creates a powerless state within us. Now, we often think in terms of incremental steps to achieve a goal, like climbing a ladder, but a quantum leap doesn't follow a predetermined path or sequential order. Okay? To make quantum leaps happen, we have to come from the result. We don't try and get to it. When we get in harmony with the person who's having the result, having our vision, having our dream, all sorts of unexpected things start to happen, such as quantum leaps. So last week, we covered the first 5 principles of a quantum leap that were defined in Price Pritchard's book, U Squared. Okay. They were change your rules for success, quit trying harder, ignore conventional approaches, think beyond common sense, what common sense would allow, and suspend belief. Anybody have any results with that? Did you find that changing your rules for success, or not trying harder, or thinking beyond common sense, maybe even just suspending disbelief about this process helped you, right? Okay, continue to ignore conventional approaches, and you'll begin to make more and more quantum leap results in your life. So this week, we're going to cover the next 5 principles of a quantum leap. And next week, the last week in December, we will cover the last 3, because they're with 15. There's just no way I could cover them in one day, do them justice enough for you to get an inkling of what I'm talking about. But today we are going to be talking about these quantum leaps. Okay. So we are going to be talking about principles 6 through 10. Last week, we had a fun exercise where I asked you to pick a number between 1 and 5 and told you that that was going to be the principle you needed to focus on for last week. Let's do that again this week, because I believe that infinite intelligence will tell us which principle we need the most, simply through our intuition. Okay, so pick a number between 6 and 10 and write it down on your piece of paper. Excellent. So let's talk about number 6. Number 6 is focus on the ends rather than the means. Okay? Focus on the ends rather than the means. The key is basically to not get in the way here, right? You don't have to know where you're going in order to get there, but you do need to know where you want to go. It's crucial that you have a crystal clear picture of what you want to accomplish. Operate with a sharply defined mental image of the outcome you seek. Rivet your attention on that spot where you want to land, and that will be basically the end of your quantum leap, right? When you visualize your arrival, it's like you magnetize yourself to the ways and means involved in the methodology for getting there. The solutions begin to appear. Answers begin to come to you. And when these answers do come to you, you will probably find them to be simple, streamlined solutions. You see, a quantum leap is a move you're already prepared to make. You just haven't done it yet. You have the potential resources and the opportunity there. That is what has been missing, is what has been. You have the potential, the resources available, the opportunity is there. What has been missing is your decision to go for it. But for now, all you need is an aiming point and action. Okay. You need to focus on the ends, not the means. And this is exactly what we teach in the dream building program. As you're building your dream, suspend the how, right? Focus on what it is that you would love to create and come from that feeling, tone, and that vision, and it will all work out. Okay. So focusing on the ends rather than the means. Let's talk about the next one. Number 7, rely on unforeseen forces. Rely on the unforeseen forces. Okay. Improving your performance by an order of magnitude u squared can sound unrealistic if you think of it as something you have to do all by yourself, right? But you don't. Forget the idea that you should be able to see tangibly and in full view all the resources necessary to leverage your performance so dramatically. There are resources you can access that cannot be seen, and there are far greater and far more powerful resources that you might readily observe. Okay. Absence of evidence is not evidence of their absence. Think of an iceberg where you see only the tip of what's really there. Just as real, though, out of sight, are invisible resources ready to make a profound difference in what you can achieve. All you have to do is open up and let them in. Quantum leaps are merely the process of using yourself and your world differently, thus allowing other possibilities that exist to actually materialize. Your willingness to make a quantum leap is the enabler. You do not achieve your dreams, your full potential, through your own singular struggle. You must take advantage of the support systems we cannot see. Paint a vivid picture in your mind for these forces to know precisely what you want. In one way or another, the unforeseen forces will dazzle you with your impact. You can count on it. Okay. So rely on the unforeseen forces. Did you pick number 8? If you pick number 8, it's choose a different set of risks. Choose a different set of risks. Quite frankly, going for the quantum leap feels chancy, right? The biggest obstacle overcoming the odds is that we never challenge them. The risks hit you as rather apparent and quite threatening, but you must stack them up against the hidden risks you accept when you decide to live with the status quo. Ask yourself what you're risking if you do not go for the quantum leap. The risk is that you won't get what you want really out of life. Okay? You've got to understand that you can never escape risk. It's not something you can decide to live without. Okay? Something is always at stake. You can only decide which risks to take. Okay. So whether you choose to go for the quantum leap or to follow your usual routines, you're putting something on the line. Either way. Okay. So choose carefully and don't kid yourself with the idea that playing it safe by living with the status quo gives you the best odds. That might be the surest way of losing. Quantum leaps do mean that to some degree you must move beyond the zone of familiarity, security, and comfort. But you can make the leap to u squared without being reckless or impulsive. Frankly, making a quantum leap is not mere gambling. It's not a crapshoot. You move on to an opportunity you've been ignoring. You abandon your excuses. You reframe the problem. You take a completely different chance. A quantum leap is risking in a way that unmasks the truth, revealing how only the thing of significance that has been standing in the way is you. Risk believing in yourself. Risk acting on the assumption that you can succeed in making a quantum leap. Otherwise, the risk that you will settle for is only a fraction of the life that you have given to you. Okay. So take a risk, choose a different set of risks, and choose yourself. Choose what it is that you would really love. Okay. Awesome. Let's go to number 9. Trust in the power of pursuit. Okay. Trust in the power of pursuit. You've dreamed many dreams that were yours for the taking, but most people confuse wishing and wanting with pursuing. Okay. In fact, almost all of them were within your reach. Even now, most of what you can dream can be yours. The simple secret is in the seeking, pursuit. Dreams begin to crystallize in reality when they are pursued. The world behaves differently when you actually take action and go after what it is that you want. You can think positively all day long, all year, but positive action is what counts. Okay? Wishing, longing, wanting, desiring, these are not the same as pursuing a dream. They are mental states, and you can play and they do play an important role in the process of becoming U squared, but they are essentially passive. Pursuit, on the other hand, is active. Reaching for your dream is behaving, moving, and it shortens the distance between you and your desired objective. Okay. U squared is firmly based on the premise of pursuit. U squared is firmly based on the premise of pursuit. Quantum leaps require you to take the offensive. You can't reach exponential gains in your success from a defensive posture. You must move on your dream. This means you must leave the cover, the safety that goes with merely wishing for something. You must place your trust in action. Ask, seek, knock, and the dream shall be yours. Trust in the power of pursuit. Okay. Finally, the last principle we're going to talk about today is one that might seem counterintuitive, but if you pick number 10, this week you are going to be seeking failure. Seek failure. Okay. Quantum leaps demand a willingness to make mistakes. Failure is a resource, and it helps you to find the edge of your capabilities. So often in life, it seems things first get worse on the way to getting better. Be prepared for that sort of development. Problems happen in the process. They belong in the process. They are part of the equation that produces a U squared. They are not proof that your ambitions are futile or that you should give up. Okay? It's easy to lose faith because other people may withdraw their support and be critical of your efforts. Plus, your own anxieties and uncertainties can absolutely tempt you to turn on yourself. It's crucial in the process to not give up. This is the crucial point in the process. Don't give up. Failure belongs here. It's a sign of progress. Okay? Actually, the struggle gives you strength. It's like tempering the steel or the soreness involved in developing muscles, right? When you go to the gym, the difficulties are just evidence that you're learning and progressing. So go search for failure and then use it. Don't interpret problems or breakdowns as proof that you should quit, but instead take them as evidence of your growth and improvement. Failure is a resource. It helps you find the edge of your capabilities. Okay. You're on your green growing edge as you seek failure. So seek failure. So as you look at the 6 principles we talked about today, focusing on the ends rather than the means, relying on unforeseen forces, choosing a different set of risks, trusting in the power of pursuit, and seeking failure, which one did you pick? And did it resonate with you, or did something else resonate with you, right? Just curious what you're seeing there. Okay. Anybody? And let me ask you, if you haven't asked this question yet, okay, where can seeking failure take you? If you invite yourself to identify moments where we might have perceived a failure and then reframe them as an opportunity for growth, okay, then we can start to see this. Perhaps it's a job you lost and you ended up with an even better one, right? Maybe it was the failure of a relationship and then you ended up with someone even better. Okay. Might be easy to get lost in your thoughts. Why hasn't my dream happened yet? As you're focusing on moments right now of perceived failure, but don't focus on that. I want you to know that this is the way it looks as it's all working out. Okay. You need to stay in the vision. You need to stay in the vibration. You need to stay in your vision, and you need to come from your vision as if it's already happening. Okay. And when we notice what we're noticing and we come back to these brave thinking tools, we're training ourselves to come from our vision with the realization that even if it hasn't taken physical form yet, that doesn't mean our vision can't be realized. We are preparing ourselves to take a quantum leap into our future dreams, passions, and life, right? Life is seeking a freer, fuller, more expanded version of itself through you. Are you taking it? Awesome. So, you had any questions at this point? Anything come up for you that is maybe a little scary? Well, it should be scary because that means that you're on that edge of becoming, right? Once you get out of your comfort zone, then things will start to occur. Okay. So embrace it, step into it, take that action before it seems like you're ready. Okay. And everything will come together. So, okay. So did you pick something that you wanted to calibrate for this week? I hope so. I know it's the holiday, but perhaps there's something holiday related that you should be calibrating today. Okay. What should you be planning to do differently, more effectively, more skillfully this week to take you in direction of your dreams? Okay. A lot of us have relationship challenges around this time of year, and this is a perfect opportunity for you to make a quantum leap in fixing some of those relationship challenges. Perhaps you're alone and you don't have anybody to spend time with, or perhaps your family members have different political or religious beliefs or are just in some other way challenging to you, right? What opportunity does that speak for you? And how would you like to recalibrate it? Okay. One of the things you can do is, again, go back and listen to some of the things we talked about when we talked about gratitude, because approaching these situations with gratitude, making sure that you generate an energetic state, just like we did at the beginning of today's program, okay, in every moment where you feel challenged can be helpful. Now, sometimes you may need to do that brave thinking breath and a focus on gratitude for several minutes before you can actually raise your vibration and feel like you're in an energetic state that will carry you through a situation. But that's why you have the tool. Use it. Do it. Okay. You're in a challenging conversation, just keep it to yourself, but breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth like you're breathing through a straw. Do that a few times until you start to feel relaxed. And then you'll move from your subconscious to your conscious mind, and you will be able to respond in a more skillful way than you would otherwise. Instead of reacting from an emotional state, you can actually respond from your rational mind. And it may be changing the subject. It may be just skillfully telling that person that you appreciate them. Whatever it is, use that brave thinking breath to generate that energetic state. Okay. So you have what it is you're going to calibrate. What are you going to do? What is your brave thinking move for this week? I have a huge one. Okay. My friends decided that it was time for me to get back on my snowboard. And so they purchased for me a snowboarding ticket for Christmas Day. Before my accident, I went snowboarding every Christmas. My ex-husband and I did that. And then after my divorce, I was alone and I spent Christmas days snowboarding because that was what I wanted to do. And quite frankly, the slopes are pretty empty. Everybody's celebrating Christmas. So no lift lines. Oftentimes there's decent snow. And I miss the holiday rush because the days before and after Christmas Day tend to be crazy and I want to avoid them. Well, this year I will be getting on that board for the first time in almost 2 months, well, 2 years and 10 months. Okay, so that's quite a while, right? And so this is a brave thinking move because a lot of people have asked me, are you really going to get back on your snowboard? And my answer is hell yes. I am doing that thing. Okay. I've been going to the gym. I've been working out. I may not be in perfect shape yet, but this is the thing that I want to do for my mind, my heart, and my body this Christmas. And it's a big move. It's a power move. And I knew I'd be out sometime this season, but it's a quantum leap that I'm actually doing it on Christmas Day, thanks to my friends who were inspired to provide me with this gift. So thank you, Bob, Julie, and Meg. I appreciate you guys very much. And I'll see you on Thursday at poker. Okay. Awesome. Well, this has been awesome. I want you to look at this calibration step that you have picked out. What is the power move you're going to make? What is the thing you're going to work on? And I want you to put it in your calendar. Okay, write it down. When are you going to accomplish that thing? Because if we don't put it in our calendar, we say, well, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. But it never actually gets done. Okay. So write down when it's going to be done and then serve yourself by doing that action. Okay. Writing it down is a great first step, but then you need to actually complete the step. So I will report back next Monday on my snowboarding experience. Hopefully it is accident free and as joyful as I think it's going to be. We haven't had a lot of new snow, but grooming anymore pretty much makes the snow a nice surface anyway. So woohoo. Yeah, big move. What is your big move? Okay. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, all of Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Happy Hanukkah. Wherever you are in the world, I hope that you are celebrating with family and friends, and that in this season of new light, as the days begin to get longer, that you are staying in the practice of remaining in your vision and your vibration is high. And I can't wait to talk to you next week and hear about how your holiday success was. In the meantime, this is Kristina Swanson. I'm a Dreambuilder coach, life mastery consultant, and I am thrilled to be spending these Monday mornings with you, helping you calibrate your week and your life. Cheers, and I'll see you next week.